Hey y'all, it's me Fancy, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing the brilliant, multifaceted, gorgeous, multi-talented Miss Blue, radio's badass, my own badass. How you doing,
Thank
girl?
you, doll.
What have you been up to? Because your presence has been everywhere.
I have really been like on the grind with like doing radio hosts and interviewing artists. And I also, on top of doing the radio host, and I do my own segment where I just kind of talk about things that's going on into the now, which I call it my ears to the streets. So I just, talk about last week it was like big booty privilege. So I just talk about everything on this show segment. So and just writing for this EP that I'm working on.
Wow, okay. So, yeah, we'll touch about the music, but so are we expecting something to drop soon?
With everything that's going on, I had a date. I wanted to drop it like in June, but I'm not really sure because I want to have as much people attention as I possibly can, and it's a lot going on. So it might be prolonged just a little bit longer. Hope maybe the end of the summer.
Yeah, maybe so. But hey, guess what? I mean, we still got that, time will tell. We still got that time to show what's going to happen. So, I guess right now, I know I can say for myself, and I definitely think that I can say for you, or I've observed with you that it has allowed you this time that we have had to be in quarantine with the coronavirus has allowed us to be creative. And you definitely, I've seen you just really like you're just flowing and flowing and going and not stopping.
Thank you.
Yes. So, I mean, do you think that this was much needed for some of us to be able to really focus on, internally and decide what we're trying to do with our gifts and talents?
It's kind of hard to say because people like us, we grind all year long. So
Yes.
I don't know because we were. I feel like with before this happened, me and you were already vibing. Because sometimes I'm constantly going nonstop and I don't have the plan. I'm just like winging it sometimes. So if
Yes.
anything, I really have a book where I have written down steps like this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna market. So I guess in that aspect it has helped.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, because definitely, you don't give yourself time to think, and I think that that's how you know that that's God's plan. That's God's work in your life. That's God's plan. I spoke with some on this podcast, and someone asked me, when was that moment that it was your get serious moment? When was it your get serious moment? And I said that was the day that God spoke to me and said, "This is what you're supposed to be doing." The moment that I recognized what my God-given talent was. So let me ask you, was there a time that when was the time that you recognized that this, was your God-given talent?
I have had a couple of things in my life that took place that made me realize that. So I'm trying to find out what really made me get serious. I guess I could say it was after 2008. I went through a very dark period in my life where I had like literally went crazy. I'm not afraid to openly admit this. I had kind of almost lost my mind. I was going through some stuff and I had completely stopped doing music. I didn't want to talk about it. I had not written in over a year. I had not recorded anything in over a year. And the next year, 2009, people kept trying to get me into the studio and I was starting to get upset with them because I wasn't ready to go back into it. And then God spoke to me and was like, you might not want to do this or you might not see yourself doing this mainstream or whatever the case, but you are touching people with the message that you're putting out, with the energy that you're putting out. You are inspiring people. You need to get back into it. So I met another artist and they got me in the studio and I never stopped. To me, that was like, you know what? I am supposed to be doing this. Like, it's no doubt in my mind I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, God brings those people in. We always say, for whether it's for just a reason, a season, or a lifetime, say that quite
Exactly.
often, we never really know like the people that are going to be along for the whole entire ride. There are people that are going to get out at several destinations, and they're not going to get back in. And then there are going to be people that are going to hop back in the car with you and take that final ride all the way out. You know what I mean? And that's because the nature of people, and we all have things, that we have to fulfill, and we have to go down our own pathways. I do want to. I think it's important. It's definitely important to me, and I know that as humble as you are, that it's also very important to you that we give the people the way that we were connected. That is through our mutual artist, Homestead Slim.
Yes, shout out Slim.
Yes, whom I know that we both love, admire, adore, and respect so much.
Yes.
He's got an incredible grind, like you said. Don't stop, don't quit. Just like us, I think that we're really like a triple threat if we're together. When we're together, I know that I still see big plans on the horizon for the three of us. He saw that.
Yes.
I think that was in his vision. That might have been in his future plans and whatnot. So we were connected through him mutually, and we did work together very briefly, in which at that time you were the one person who really just embraced me, wanted to really get to know me, wanted to at every turn expose me to your audience, expose me to everybody. And it wasn't for a self gain on your side. And that's what really made me fall in love with you as a person. I've just continued to see within the last 6 months your growth, and just you can't fake being a genuine person. And that touches me touches my heart and my soul, because no matter what you're going through, or no matter the struggle, you still stop and take time to very even basically explain something to me step by step, FaceTime me step by step, and just share your knowledge with me. Anything that you have, you'll share it with me while we're both in pursuit of this. And so I want to just, at this time say, I'm grateful for you, and so I can get past all that.
Thank you. You are such a doll, though.
I do what I can, and this is the thing, and I think now, it's hard out here. It's hard out here with women, because women can be real catty. And we talk about how women connect, you know what I mean? And when you do connect and you do form a bond, especially on this level with two women that are in the same arena, that are out here grinding and doing the best they can to get it, and not really knowing exactly what God has planned for them, but knowing that they're in the right arena, that's a very beautiful and magnetic thing. It's a magnetic thing.
Yes, it is.
So I want to talk about the Miss Blue radio show. Talk to me about that, and talk to me about what you're doing, and talk to me about where your motivation comes from first, and then talk to me about how you pick these topics.
Yeah, so my show, I call myself Radio's Badass, because I kind of just like go in for it. Like, I don't hold back, and I like everybody that get on my show to feel like they can say whatever. Like, we don't do the disrespect, but just like, it's okay to not feel like everyone else. And that's what I like on my show. We are very opinionated, and people speak their mind, and that's what I like to do. And I just think my show is like fun, because I'm also silly. I laugh with people, and I talk about the stuff that I hear and see on the internet, on TV, that I feel like people know. You can be yourself on my show. You can keep it 1,000. I mean, I encourage that. So basically right now I'm running a very diverse show, because I have interviewed some of everyone in every aspect of life. It doesn't matter if you're an artist, entrepreneur, book writer, whatever. You've been on the Miss Blue show. And I appreciate y'all too.
Yeah. Even comedians, remember?
Yeah, comedians.
And that was a blast.
Yes, it was.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and so topics. So you just talk about the things, like you said, that you see on the internet, or read in the paper, or or read or see in mainstream media or the news or whatever. I also know that you're very investigative too, right? Talk to me about the investigator Miss
First
Blue,
off,
tell me
I
about the
always used to
background
do.
of the investigator, because baby, because she knows, they call me a knee-high private eye because I'm shout to the flow. But what
Yes,
about Miss Blue?
I tell everybody my next life I'm a detective because I went to school. I got my associate's degree in criminal justice,
Ooh.
and literally I was supposed to go to school to be a police officer. It's crazy, but all the ladies in my family are street cops. I was gonna be a cop, but then it's like I want to be a private investigator. So I do a lot of research about everything because I feel like if I'm going to be talking about topics and things that's going on in the world, to give a real opinion, I have to at least know what I'm talking about. So it's important to do my research on everything. And so that's what I do. I stay up sometimes late at night just researching and writing notes like, oh, okay, this is what happened? Whoa. Yeah, so
So definitely. So that's one. I say, like a lot of people are like, wow, you're really busy. People talk to me and they say, you just into everything. I'm proud of you. I see you, they mention, make mention. They'll be like, oh, you have a podcast, and oh, you have, a radio show, and oh, you have a little talk show that you've been doing. And then, you're doing, like promotion for artists. And then you're like your music videos, and you're like assisting and managing like major artists, like, so they're like, you're doing everything. So what is it that you don't do? So tell me what it is all that Miss Blue does. Tell the audience what they do so they can get to know everything about you. What's your
yes,
main
okay.
thing?
So yeah, so if you don't know, I rap. I sing as well. A lot of people be like, girl, but if you went to school with me, I could sing. So I sing. I started out songwriting though. So I write a lot of music. I write plays. I write scripts and short movies. I'm also an actress. I've acted in a few movies, a lot of stage plays. Acting, I took up theater arts in high school and college, and also private lessons in my adult life. So basically, that's what I do.
That's what you do. Plus, you have the radio show, and
Yep.
plus, you impact lives all around you every single day with your magnetic personality.
Thank you. That's
So
what I
talk
try to do.
well, you definitely are doing it. You know what I'm saying? I've always felt definitely at home with you, in all areas. I know that there's not anything that I can't call you for advice on. And I think that I really believe from my soul that there's everyone else that knows you feels that way too. So that's a good thing. So talk to me about your music. Talk to me about the latest project.
Okay, I'm so excited about this project. You see how my cheeks went from here to here?
Yes, let's
So
go.
I'm working on an EP called BAP, and it stands for Big Ass Party.
All right.
And I'm so excited about this EP because I have written this EP with nothing in the world to prove.
All right.
And it's as crazy as it sounds, I have written music. I'm always big on bars. I'm a lyricist. So I'm always a lyricist. I'm always big on making sure people know. But this time, I really wanted to focus on having fun because I don't have anything to prove. Like if people still doubted Miss Blue, you can check out Blue Light Special mixtape I dropped January of 2019. It's still on my mixtapes. And you can see that the bars is there. I just want people to have a good time when they listen to BAP and just feel like I could dance, I'm sexy, I'm a boss. I don't care what race you are. I want every woman to feel like they that boss.
Mm-hmm.
The tracks on there.
All right. So of course, I can't we cannot not hear some of this. So what you gonna play for us right now?
Yeah, so my lead song is of course Go Off. Everyone know that I have been performing that song for over a year. Be doing some traveling when all this stuff is over with. So I'm gonna play Go Off produced by Diggs, okay?
All right, let's get it, girl. And do not hesitate to get it going.
Yes, and make sure y'all streaming it on Spotify.
Yeah. They step back when they see me like they hardened, son. With his chick, so we looking like pardon, son. 45-inch ass and it's worth the ton. They thinking I'm Brazilian. Cut the check and the pussy worth a million. With a cup, you can pour me up a drink. Said he love me cause I told him he the only one. Said I never let a lame nigga fuck for fun. I been it over, so I told him better throw them racks. If I'm on it, it's turning them tracks. When I count my stack, he got a sunroof top with a diamond in the back. Yeah, he got plenty big faces, got my name in different places. I stay winning why they hate it though, hate it though. You can have him if you want it. Look at me, so I go front it. I just tell him it's whatever. Watch me go off, wrist on gloves, on my own shit, yeah, your boss. So fat, yeah, I like the flaws. Stun the chase on, that's how we do it in the South. Watch me go off, wrist on gloves. On my own shit, yeah, it costs to be a boss. Yeah, so fat, yeah, I like the flaws. Stun the chase on, that's how we do it in the South.
Yeah.
Hey,
Go off.
Yes, ma'am. Hey.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, and Miss Blue, Miss Blue knows. Like I even though I'm an extrovert, I can be kind of shy. But I sent her a WhatsApp video going off, and I was like, if you ever try this, I will kill you.
I will never.
It made me do it. It'll make you do it.
And that's what I like to hear. I want my ladies to feel sexy and just say that boss.
Yes, girl. Yes. At that moment, I was the queen of everything. It wasn't nothing and nobody around me, but I was the queen of my room.
Mm-hmm.
I was working it, girl. First thing in the morning, morning face, morning hair, but I didn't care. I was like, hey, let's do this. I'm about to get ratchet.
Yes.
So talk to me about what was the mood when you wrote that song. Obviously, you said that you wanted, women to feel beautiful and sexy, and empowered. You know what I mean? But what was the give us set the scene about the time that you wrote that. What was going on when you wrote it?
Yeah, so when I wrote Go Off, I had like 30 pieces of paper crumbled up in the corner. Because that's how hard I was being on myself. And Biggs, who produced the song, was like, where the song at, Blue? Where the song at, Blue? And I was just literally, no shit, I was driving in my car. That's when I come up with some ideas. I had the aux on, and I was listening to the track. And I was just like, watch me go off. Wrist on gloves. I was like, wait a minute. So I just started, I think I was on my way to Memorial City Mall, and I heard the beat, and I was like, they step back when they see me like they hardened, son, because that's my favorite Rockets basketball player.
Right.
It just started flowing. I was like, wait a minute, it could be like a hood song, but still kind of like sexy boss type of song. So I wrote it in the car, literally.
That's what's up. And like I say, assistant manage, assistant and manage, some artists and stuff like that. And one of the artists that I assist, is a large, well-known artist. And the other day we were talking, and he was actually watching one of my other interviews, and someone said, yeah, I just get in the car and drive, whenever I need to think about when I get a writer's block, I just get in the car and drive. And he chimed in, he goes, that's when I make my best music. Like that's, I just go in the car and I'm driving and I'm just riding and I just come up with the lyrics. So when you said that, it made me think about that. And it's very true, because that's where I find my peace, if I'm going through stress, I just get in the car and hit the loop a few times. You know what I mean? Right. It's something about that speed, and it's something about, you could just turn the music all the way up. You could do some instrumental, you could do some beats, you could do whatever. And I'm not a rapper and I'm not a singer, but, I love music, obviously. And so it's in those moments that I find, my greatest inspiration. I do write too. You know what I mean? I do write also. Mm-hmm. So you know, I find inspiration in those moments. So I definitely can see that, and I think that you are definitely. I know now it's been confirmed from 3 people in a row that you can be very creative in the vehicle.
Yes, you can. You can. You really can. It's strange, but it's possible.
So talk to me about let us know a little bit about Miss Blue, like where you come from, um, like where you were born, where you were raised, where you went to school, and just some little tidbits about you that people might not know. Let's take a moment to get a little intimate about you.
Of course. So I went to, well, first off, I'm born and raised in Houston, Texas. If you can't already hear the accent in the Texas slang, I'm definitely born and raised in Houston, Texas. But I grew up on the northwest side, Jersey Village in 290. I went to Jersey Village High School. There wasn't a lot of people doing music like I was. It was me, another chick. So it may have been 2 rap groups all together. So I started with one, but I ended with I know you're familiar with Beat King.
Oh yes, mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I can't leave him out of my story because that's where I actually started. He was looking for another female, so I got in. I went to his house and recorded at his studio, and we was just recording from that day on in high school. And so music was always something that I did. I always participated in contests, and I've always had like a high energy, been a high energy type of person, crazy, spontaneous, say whatever. I got in trouble a lot for saying whatever. But I had a very close relationship with my parents. I had your 9 to 5 boss parents. Like my mama was a boss, my dad was a boss, my parents were in oil and gas. Nobody knew, not even my closest friends. No one ever knew that my mama was a pastor the whole time I was in high school acting bad.
Mm-hmm.
I was a whole preacher.
That's what they say. It's the pastor's children.
Yeah, you know what? I had no reason to be like that because my was very easygoing and lax. I had to figure things out the hard way.
It's part of your personality. That's all.
And I did.
Square pegs are not meant to fit in round slots. We're not meant for that.
I see. It was a learning experience, but it was interesting. I grew up around a great inspiration in my life, so it was no surprise that music was my first love, and my dad was not feeling that. The first time I had gotten to C3, I had some guys from the group come to my house to ask my dad if I could be in the group because that's how much he wasn't supporting rapping.
Yeah,
and we let him listen to songs, and he was like, one of the songs was called "Grown Ass Man," and he was like, "Y'all not no grown ass men." Hilarious. I was like, can you just support this? Because I love to do music. So it just really took off from there.
At that point, then you just kind of went on, and the rest is in the making. History in the making is legendary already. So tell me about along the way, though, between high school and now, along the way, have you had moments where you have stumbled or some obstacles that came up, and how did you overcome them? Because we always try to inspire people that just because you're not where you think that you should be right now, or that you don't feel like you've accomplished, that you've just been grinding, and you just keep on putting your music in the hands of this person and that person, and they're not playing your music, or they're not supporting your music, or they're not promoting your music. You just kind of get discouraged. So tell me about the moments, what you've been doing between high school and now, and the moments that you had obstacles and where you may have quit, but you decided, no, I can't.
Right. So, I'll be very transparent. I was messing up and shit. I was really into doing the wrong things. There was a point in my life where I just did not give a damn, honestly. I was really acting out because I was upset about some things that had taken place. And I didn't know how to fix it, so I blamed a lot of people that didn't have anything to do with that, and they understood that as time progressed. But I didn't want to work with anyone. I met a producer who would then change my life. A lot of guys back then, this is when it comes to people being in the entertainment, it's not an easy thing. A lot of people will play on a woman alone because they feel like we are the weaker sex. So a lot of them would come to me acting like they wanted to help me out when really they just wanted to sleep with me.
Oh yeah.
And then can you imagine recording projects? Like I would record full projects, and when it got close to getting it, if I didn't sleep with the guy, I didn't get the project.
Yeah.
So yes, I was really going through a lot of stuff, like trying to not only find out who I am as an artist, but finding out who to trust in this damn game. Like, why is everybody coming at me sideways? And I met this producer, like I said, that changed my life. He was not like that. He showed me the ropes. He became my mentor. And if you ever talk to him one day, he would tell you, like, Miss Blue was very, very hard-headed. Like, she didn't listen to nobody. I had that attitude, like, you cannot tell me shit. But after I learned and bumped my head a few times, I was like, I need to get my shit together. And I just think it's about getting older and going through those things that you're going through and saying, I don't want to go through that no more. I'm not going to be so gullible, because it is. People don't like to admit that sometimes you being gullible. I was gullible as hell. I would just, you tell me that somebody is gonna, and I just believed it. Oh, he's gonna do this, and then he just want to sleep with you. And it just comes to the point where I just would just save up my money. This person would help me, and we would put the music out. We would go meet the people that we needed to meet. And I was just like, I'm gonna just stay focused. And I just had to really just focus and work hard and not get off track, because it was several times where I just didn't want to do it no more because I was getting taken advantage of.
Yes. And unfortunately, I've had that experience as well. Meeting with people and whatnot, they get all involved, get you all involved with the project, whether it's, to be a part of the video or the EP or the voice work or whatever. They want you to come in, and then, like, before you know, like, you're just sitting in the studio for hours, and you're like, okay, well, what was it that you needed me to do? Because, my time is also valuable. I have places that I have to be too. Like, I can't just stop. Like, I have things to do. And so that sort of was this bonding moment for me to realize, okay, wait a minute, and then, and you can pretty much tell, after you've had a couple of those experiences, you kind of can tell, that what it is, that they're on some creep stuff. They're not on some real stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, it can be kind of crazy. Like when you look at it from that point, because you do get preyed upon. And speaking of that, I actually have to mention, since we're mentioning that, I actually have to mention that there's a couple of producers in Houston, that I have worked with in the last couple of years, right at 2 to 3 years, that I have been fortunate enough not to have that experience with. And I'm going to shout them out because they are amazing people. They contacted me on some very creative stuff, whether they were referred to me or whether they followed me or we followed each other on social media. One of them, is BC, Brandon Creer. He has his own studio, and he does lots of production. He does lots of production for, like, the Houston Symphony Orchestra. He did Kiati did the H-Town for Real challenge a couple of summers ago. I hopped on that. That's how he found me. And I didn't hop on it because I wanted to be, like, serious about the challenge. I hopped on it because another girl that I model with, she was kind of shy, and she said, would you give me support? If I do it, will you do it? Because, when I was younger, I used to do my little rap thing or whatever, a little freestyling and stuff. I was like, cool, I'll do it. It's just for fun, and it's for supporting you. I did it not knowing that he was going to hit me up. I had no idea. He hit me in my inbox or my DM, and he says, hey, Miss Hayes, like, I love what you did with the track, like, I created that, and I love the way you articulate, and I want to have you come in and do some voice work for me. Can we meet? And,
okay.
And I said, okay. I said, well, first of all, this was the first question that I asked. This is how I knew he was for real, and not on some creep stuff. I said, what's your government name? Because, I had to do my knee-high private eye. Yes, again, knee-high private eye. I had to do that. And like Prime Media says, knee-high private eye, LOL, on your comments. So I had to do that. But so I went in and I met with him, and we've had a great bond ever since. We actually work on a team together that he organized called the Lifestyle, Find Your Lifestyle. We work on that. and we all collaborate on that. Something I'd love to talk to you about at some point as well. But then also the legendary double platinum producer Mike B.
Okay.
Everybody's Mike B, produced a
Yeah.
lot, rap a lot, Big Mike Jones. I work with him now. We do a podcast right now. And so there are good people out there that are on teams that are producers and creators and writers and rappers. I work with other rappers too, and other other R&B artists that are not on no creep stuff. And it's
No.
I work with people that actually pray for me and not prey upon me.
Right.
And that's hard for a woman. And being as beautiful as you are, you know what I'm saying, and as voluptuous as you are, because we all know that the backside is the right
yes.
side with this blue.
Get the wrong attention every damn time.
Okay, so they gonna be like, whoa, that's it. So they're gonna be looking at that. But seriously though, so at those times, when you got past that, like you say, you know what, I'm a boss up, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, put my money up.
Hell yeah.
I'm going. I think that is a beautiful testimony. One thing that I testify to people too on a regular basis is I say, if when I wake up in the morning, I always said, you know what, I could lay here, you know what I'm saying, because I'm tired. I just got in the bed at 5 or 6 a.m. I could lay here. I'm tired. I could sleep until 2, but you know what? I can't waste half of my day. There's somebody out there that I'm supposed to meet today. There's some interaction I'm supposed to have. I'm supposed to have some networking opportunity. You never know who you're going to meet. Case in point, and I'm sure I want to ask you your situation like this. I'm going to give you an example, and then I want you to give me one. The most odd, unexpected, and not odd in a bad way, but the most odd place and the most unexpected interaction I had with someone. There's a gentleman, his name is Eddie. He works for O'Reilly in Vegas, and I just met him about a week ago. Actually, a week ago today. I went in to go buy a windshield washer fluid for my car before I came back to Houston. And I went in there and I was getting some stuff and I was doing it. My car, the door closed, the keys, my phone were on the seats. My puppies were in the car. The car was not running. It wasn't hot like Houston yet, but it does get hot in Vegas. But I went in and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't have a phone. Everything is here. Everything is here. Do you have that tool that y'all use or whatever? He went into Superman mode. Don't know me from Sam. Coronavirus rampant, you know what I'm saying? No mask on, you know what I'm saying? And he comes flying out to the car with this tool, and he's like, I'm going to get this one way or the other. Point is that he was a good Samaritan. That's one thing. But guess what? He's from the West Coast. He's from Inglewood. He raps also. And guess what? He has an 11-year-old daughter. I'm a plugger. Named GC the rapper. She's 11, and she is colder than winter, honey. You don't have that many followers on Instagram, but I'm going to be interviewing her. But it just goes to show you how those things happen. So I want to ask you, when did that happen to you? When can you recall something like that happening to you?
Like just like a good Samaritan?
Oh, that made a connection for you, that that y'all can support each other's artistry. That type of connection.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say I have been doing music for a long time, and I knew a wife and husband company. His name is Mike. He's a really, really, really good guy. And he had been hitting me up like for years, like, what you gonna do with the music and when you coming to LA? And then one day he told me that I needed to reach out to a lady named Tasha. He was like, she's the next big thing. She's a go-getter like you. And, y'all, I think y'all would be, work well with each other. And I hesitated, but I gave her a call, and I tell her when I talk to her now, she was so short on the phone. Like, she really wasn't trying to open up all the way. And moment, we literally talked or have been talking every day. It's just from a simple word of mouth from someone saying, you need to call so-and-so and get to know her and tell her what you got going on. And she's been plugging me into like some really, really big things that I haven't even put out there.
Wow.
Like, to me, that's like a big deal to me, because you don't really come across people that want to see you do so good that they actually goes everyone, and she's connected like she is within the industry. And I think she's like a big sister that I wish I had.
Right.
So that's my story.
Yeah, your connection. I mean, it happens. You know what I mean? And me, and even on this scale, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, my whole attitude was it's a pay it forward attitude. You know what I mean? I don't think that I have a whole lot to offer, but there are people that would disagree with me. You know what I mean? But I am going to help. You know what I'm saying? I definitely will help, in whatever capacity I can, with the platforms that I'm a part of, to help support, you know what I'm saying? Because we do, you and I both, we do a lot for the underground artists, for supporting them and showcasing them. That's like my mission, is to support and showcase the underground artists, the people that are out here like I am, the people that I see out here when I move out here, getting it just like I'm getting it, working hard, not giving up, not being afraid. You can't be afraid. So I think that it's a whole pay it forward attitude. You've got to be gracious. You've got to be grateful, and you got to know. I think that a lot of times too, Blue. I think that there are people that, like you say, that do take a interest and a notice and an interest in you, but they are a little bit shy at first because they want to see what you're willing to put in, what work you're willing to. You can't just have my connection. You can't have my connection. I can't just be your link to all of this. And what are you willing to do for yourself? And those are the best people, because they want to see you work for it for yourself. Yeah, they're watching you to make sure that you're genuine, number one. And once they know that, there's not one thing that they wouldn't do for you. And those are the type of connections, and that's the type of people that I like to keep in my circle. That's why I keep my circle really small. Because if we're not checking on one another, and what are you doing and what do you need help with, hey, didn't we discuss this, and didn't we say that you were going to have this, this was your deliverable, this was what you were going to do, this is what you wanted to accomplish at this point. If we're not checking one another, and we're not helping and pushing each other for greatness, or we're not saying, hey, what can I do to help you, can I take that off your plate, or did you think of it from this manner, then we really don't need to be, we really don't need to be creatively working together anyway.
Right.
I think it's important. So paying it forward. How do you feel about paying it forward? And what about grooming younger artists, or speaking to younger up and coming artists? How do you feel about that?
I'm always here to lend.
Specifically females, Ms. Blue, I meant to ask.
I have been a very big force within like the underground, I say, and I've talked to a lot of artists, fancy. Females are very hard-headed. So I just keep it real. You do what you want to do, and you do what you can live with. Your story is your story, not mine. So if you feel comfortable with it, I have really gave a lot of advice to a lot of people, and I just say, especially with a female artist, I like to tell them that do what make you feel comfortable. Don't do what someone tell you that you should be. Make sure that you're happy with, and you're able to live with your decision at the end of the day. Because it's very hard being a female artist anyway, and being comfortable in your skin and telling you who you should look like and suggesting who you should sound like. So you should make sure you're true to yourself. And that's like female artists as well as a male artist. Because people don't know, once you start dabbling within the mainstream, you have to really be built for this, because it can get very hurtful and depressing on your mentals, because people are going to tell you things or suggest things that you don't want to do. And if you are not strong-minded, you'll fall into that trap. You know what I'm saying? And yes. So I just say be true to yourself at the end of the day. That's like the best advice I think one can give you. I wasn't even given that advice.
Right. But the fact that you do give that, though, wholeheartedly and willingly, shows, that you are genuine again. But we don't expect anything less from you. So talk to me about Some more music. What else you got cooking? What else do you love? What you loving right now? What are you loving right now?
Okay, so my music or somebody else's music?
Your music. I'm not to them. Yeah, we talk about you right now.
Okay, because I got some songs I haven't put out. That's why I'm asking. I haven't put out like a lot of the songs that I've written. No one has heard except for a song called Real. Now, because I'm talking about if you've dealt with anything fake, I got every type of fake chick in this song that we both experienced, and reminding them how it's still some real ass bitches out there. Like, you know, I'm not with the fake shit and stuff like that. So right now, that's like my go-to song that I. I wrote "Run It" because I hadn't put out a big project in a couple of years. I was just doing like features and talk. Like, do she still rap? Do she still got it? Did she fall off? So when I wrote "Run It," I was definitely talking shit to everybody that was questioning me. Like, yes, I still got it. Yes, I got bars.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, "Run It" is definitely another song that I like, or I would suggest people to listen to if they never checked it out.
So what else you got that you gonna let us hear today is what I want to know.
I'm gonna let y'all listen to "Run It" so y'all can get into that state of mind that I was in when I wrote this song.
All right, you want to go on and do that?
Yes.
Go on, let's do it.
If a bitch talking shit, I tell her run it up. Nigga running that till him sum it up. Lyrics 6. Wake up, so I grind all day to get my cake up. He be fucking on me hard, never break up. Summer, you can't leave the house without some makeup. Now turn it up. Turn it up. I be the one to keep it hot in the city, bad bitch. I don't even gotta show one titty, mad chick. All these hoes looking so damn silly, damn bitch. I be sitting here looking so pretty, I'm lit. About to catch a flight, I be on vacation. Getting so dark, looking like a Haitian. They don't like Miss Blue, tell them that they hating. Blue light special, bitch, I'm amazing. Sagittarius, I don't give a fuck. Fire in my veins, nigga, heating up, yeah. Shit just start rapping. I'm just spitting truth, no capping. Instagram something, no caption. Some of y'all fake, no acting. Really ain't about that action. What's the run it? Give me that, run it up.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's one of my favorite songs.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, that's my girl. So what's next? Oh, talk to me about what's next. Talk to me about when is your next EP dropping? And then in the next year, what should we expect to see out of you, from you?
Yeah, so the EP is hopefully dropping toward the end of the summer. It's gonna feature 6 songs. Go Off is definitely gonna be the main song. Y'all gonna want to dance, shake your ass to it, feel good, feel sexy. That's the vibe on that one. Now, for 2020, what I'll have plans for and what I would like to do is travel. I want to travel and I want to do more shows outside of Texas. Okay, so I definitely want to network a lot harder. So y'all gonna be saying, hopefully, if God say the same and the economy open back up, I hope we go back stronger. I want to be traveling and networking and recording different places. I want to be doing videos in different areas. I don't just want to limit myself to Houston because the dream is so much bigger than that. So just out here networking, collaborating, and prayerfully I'll be in LA because that's where I wanted to be for the Issues Real with Tasha and Tanya. They have a celebrity podcast, and I definitely want to be out there for that. So y'all just gonna be seeing your girl moving, working, you know, on my grind, hustling.
Yeah, you can count me in for that one in LA. I'm down, honey.
Yes.
They are amazing.
They move different, Fancy.
Yeah,
LA people move different.
Yeah, but speaking of your girls though, they absolutely do. They're amazing. Those are some amazing women. And so, but you know, amazing women do travel in packs, believe it or not. Just like dogs, you know,
That's
and
true.
travel in packs. Amazing, beautiful women that are connected with one another, you know, and for promotion of each other, definitely travel in packs as well. It does happen.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about what the remainder of 2020, you know, once this corona gets up off our neck, you know, has to offer us. I'm excited about that. You know, it's God's plan, child. You know what I mean? I'm knowing that.
Yes.
I'm excited to go forward and work with you, you know, in every capacity possible. You know, because you have been a definite inspiration to me. I look at you, you know, as a mentor, you know, in this radio business, even though you've been in the radio business a little bit longer than me. So I definitely look at you. That's all right though. It's but you would be the senior, you know what I'm saying? And I was the baby of the bunch. So we know. But that's all right. But I go back and I listen to our interviews and I watch our interviews, you know, and I go back and look at when I came on your show and I was a part of your show. And I love that. We have some really good moments.
Yes, we did.
When women talk, it was crazy. And we were all the way real, you know. And so I'm just really excited, and I'm so grateful to you, you know, for granting me, you know, the opportunity to share you, you know, with the audience today. Let them get to know you, for people that don't, because there are people that move in, you know, the same circles that we move in, but they might see you, you know, because I might promote you. And that's another thing too. I was going to say, cross promotion. How important do you feel cross promotion is?
I think cross promotion is very important. I wish I would see it more. I think you should network with other podcasts. I think you should network with other artists. I think if you don't drop a video, do some freestyles with each other, or because you're just all the independent industry or market would do so good if we cross networked with each other and we promoted each other, because all we're doing is tapping into each other's fan base. Exactly. We don't own these people, so I don't care who gets some of my supporters or some of my fans. This should just be like that. Like, hey, this is the Fancy Show. Tap in, get your interview with Fancy. You know, you might talk about something different than I do, or have a different energy, and somebody might navigate. I really think it's important to cross promote, and I try to incorporate that in my everyday walk of life. I try to tell people that.
You do, and I set you up with that question because it's exactly what you do, and that's another thing. If I was giving out awards, you know what I'm saying, I would definitely give you an award for that, because you have done that religiously, especially when it comes to me from the very beginning. You didn't know me, you know, but we sat down and you know, we vibed immediately. We connected immediately. We had that energy between us, and we both did that for each other. And I think that that's a good positive example. Cross, you know, you have to cross promote all the time, you know, make that a part of your day. You have to do that, because you never know who in your viewing audience, because there's people back there that follow you, you know, whether they're celebrities or whether they're on the political level or they're on, you know, a professional level, or whether, you know, on, you know, they're a producer or they're a studio or they're, you know, a media company or a filmmaker. You never know who's following who. And there's people that just sit back and watch what you do. They're watching, are you utilizing these social media platforms? Are you utilizing all of this out here for a purpose, you know, other than just getting on here playing? And there's some people that just use it for their entertainment, and that's fine, because they have a regular career and they just use it for their entertainment. But for people that are actually out here that are creatives, I just say creatives to cover a blanket of the whole genre. I call us creatives, okay? No matter what our capacity is or what our niche is, I think that they're looking at you and you have a responsibility to utilize this platform in front of you. And if you don't utilize the platform in front of you, and you don't cross promote, and you don't, you know, give your fellow man, or in our case, fellow woman, you know, or a fellow creative, and lend them a hand or an ear, you know, or a step up, what are you doing? What are you doing with this platform? it's important to be creative. It's important to be supportive, and absolutely to cross promote, because somebody in my audience, in my, whether that's a Facebook or Instagram, because we know that they don't always cross, because some people don't fool with Facebook and some people don't fool with Instagram. And I think you can probably understand, just like I do, getting people to subscribe to your YouTube channel is like pulling teeth. I mean, I will have 4,700 followers on Facebook, a couple of thousand, 2 or 3,000 on Instagram, but I have like 50 or 60 on YouTube. And this is where we're moving towards, is creating a professional, more streamlined environment for our videos, YouTube. And it's like, you couldn't pay people to get on and subscribe. In other words, they will be your legitimate followers on other platforms, but you couldn't pay them. So I think that it's important that when you cross promote, that I'm exposing Miss Blue in all her different, like I call it, multifaceted, just like me, and I'm exposing you in all your different things that you have your hands in creatively, because you're a creative. I'm exposing you to my audience, and I have reach with people that you don't, and you have reach with people that I don't, and those people have reach with people that none of us have. So it's a beautiful thing, and it's organic, and it grows from the ground up. It's a grassroots. And I think that if more people would invest in one another, like you said, then we would all be doing much better.
Well, you know what, Fancy, at the end of the day, I look at it like, I feel like people like me, you, and there are like people like Tasha are a boss. And I feel like with the boss, you run the business. You're not bothered about anyone that's giving you creative, ideas and things like that of that nature, because this is your company. It's still your vision. At the end of the day, you don't have an issue with sharing that spotlight because you're a boss. I think it's just a mentality. Like, some people are just so scared of someone stealing their fan base or the spotlight. Own this stuff. This is temporary anyway. It's okay to share. It's okay to network with each other. It doesn't matter if people like both of us. I think that's the thing about being a boss woman, is that we don't care about who we pull in. If you're down with the program, we're down for you. And that's why I'm going to always be on my boss movement, especially when it comes to supporting other women, as long as they have the same mind frame as me, because I've been singled out. I know how that feels to be singled out, and I don't like to be singled out when I'm a good person. So I don't like to make other women feel like that. And if I can help, I'm sure will.
Yeah, come join us, y'all. Hey, it's the call. We're putting the call out for the bosses.
All bosses.
Come on. We ready. We want to support you. Come on. And just like Miss Blue says, hey, as far as the interviews and whatnot, I saw her make a tag, post a post, and she tagged, and she was like, hey, and get at her for your interview. Absolutely. And anybody that I interview, I'm passing them along too. They're right there. Let's get it. There's more audience, more exposure, support your people. Hey, calling all bosses, right?
That's right.
So, Miss Blue, anybody that you want to give a shout out to or say anything special to anybody, as far as who's been a part of your journey as of up to this point, anybody you want to, just give a kind word to, anything before I let you get up out of here?
Yeah. So I got to give a shout out to Biggs, the man behind helping with the creativity. We've been wanting to work with each other for a decade. So now is the time. Timing is everything. And he's just been supporting 1,000. So I appreciate you, Diggs. Definitely Barry Media, my good friend she takes all my pictures. I don't care if I don't have nothing together. He just be like, look, have your nails, your feet, and your hair done, and let's go downtown and shoot. So we've been friends for over 10 years, and he's just been going strong and supporting. Sucker Free, my other friend, she did the Run It video. She's going to be doing my Go Off video. Pradia from Casting Me Out, y'all show me so much support constantly. My sis, AJ, my mom, you, Fancy, you have always been an instrument in showing me support and keeping me motivated as well. We've had our side talks, and you don't tell nobody's business. You really a good person. So, of course, my husband, because the man, I drive this man crazy, giving him all these ideas and changing my mind 1,000 times, but he listens. So I just want to thank all you all for just being the instrument in my life to keep me going. And of course, again, I have to thank Tasha. This lady is like a big sister to me. She just I can't even explain it to you, y'all. She listens to me and she tell me when I'm going in the wrong direction. No, that ain't it, sis. Let's get back on track. That's not cool. Let's do this way. And listen. And so I just want to thank everyone who's been supporting Miss Blue since day one. I know who you are. And I just want to thank everybody. I want to give a shout out to also to Core 94 for showing love too and supporting me as well. So I just thank you, Houston, Dallas, all of y'all, Louisiana, ATL, North Carolina, all the girls from the Go Off video. I know it's a lot, but that's who I gotta thank. I really appreciate all y'all.
Well, that's beautiful. Shoot, that's hey, it's not that it's ever too much because you couldn't thank people enough when they've impacted your life and
Really
they help you. And hey, Tasha, I love you because of her.
Right?
I love you, Tasha, because of what you done, because of the smile I see on her face. And if you need another little sister, Tasha, I'm here. Girl, we need to support one another. It's the boss movement, like Miss Blue says.
Amen to that, though. Real talk.
But listen, we're gonna be I'm gonna be tapping back in with you. Real soon. I do want to, do a podcast, with you. I do a Studio 323 music podcast with Mike B. We just dropped on all platforms, so you can check us out on Spotify, YouTube, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music and everything. So I definitely want to get you on that one, so we can talk about current news and topics and just talk about your artistry as well. So I definitely want to get you on that. So if I can get a commitment from you on that, but definitely come back again so we can tap back in, in 6 months or so before the year ends and see where we did. You know what I mean? I'm excited to do that. And I'm excited to see you over in Vegas and LA because, that's where I'm planning on being, in the next 6 months. Yes. So I'm definitely excited to see you and host you there. And let's just get this work, girl.
Amen to that.
All right.
Thank you so much for the interview, Fancy.
It's been my pleasure, and thank you for taking it, and thank you for just being beautifully yourself. Like I say, the multi-talented, multifaceted, always real Miss Blue, y'all. Give it up.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Blue. I love you.
Love you too.
All right, lady. Thank y'all for watching.